Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good day to everyone. I am Dr. Noazma binti Rahlin, your lecturer for International Marketing, and today I will continue my lecture on global marketing channels and physical distributions. Moving to learning objective. For this topic, we have 4 learning objectives. First learning objective is we want to identify and compare the basic structure options for customer channels and industrial channels. Second learning objective is to list the guidelines companies should follow when establishing channels and working with intermediaries in global market. Third objective is to describe the different categories of retail operations that they are found in the various parts of the world. And objective number 4 for this topic is to compare and contrast the 6 major international transportation modes and explain how they vary in terms of reliability, accessibility, and other performance metrics. Okay, in this slide, we have distribution channels, terminology, and structure. Physical distributions is the physical flow of goods through channel. A channel of distributions is an organized network of agencies and institutions that, in a combinations from all the activities required to link procedure with the user to accomplish the marketing task. Although channels for customer product and industrial product are similar, there are also some distinctions or difference. In a business to customer marketing or B2C, customer channel are designed to put product in the hands of people for their own use as participants in a process known as business to business marketing or B2B. Industrial channel deliver products to marketers or other type of organizations that use them as input in the production process or in a day-to-day operations. Moving to channel objective and utility, marketing channels exist to create utility for customer in terms of place utility, time utility, form utility, and information utility. Place utility can be described as availability of the product or service in location that is convenient to potential customer. While time utility refers to availability of a product or service when desired by a customer. Form utility, that is availability of the product process, prepared in the proper conditions and or ready to use. And information utility here refer to availability of answer to question and general communications about useful product features and benefits. The starting point in selecting the most effective channel arrangements is a clear focus of the company's marketing efforts on a target market and assessment of the ways in which distributions can contribute to the firm's overall value propositions. Who are the target customer and where they are located? What are their information required? What are the preferences for the service? How sensitive they to the price, Customer preference must be carefully determined because there is as much danger to success of the marketing program from creating too much utility as there is from creating too little. Moreover, each market must be analyzed to determine the cost of providing channel service. Okay, what is appropriate in one country may not be effective in another. Even marketers concerned with a single country program can study channel arrangements in different parts of the world for valuable information and insight into possible new channel strategies and tactics. For example, retail from Europe and Asia studied self-service discount retailing in the United States and then introduced the self-service concept in their own countries. Similarly, governments and business executives from many parts of the world have examined Japanese trading companies to learn from their success. Walmart's formula has been closely studied and copied by competitors in the market it has entered. Distribution channels, terminology and structure. Distributor. Distributor refer to wholesale intermediary that typically carries product line or brands on selective basis. Agents. Agents refer to an intermediary who negotiate transactions between two or more parties but does not take title to the goods being purchased or sold. This figure summarizes 6 channel structure alternatives for customer product. The characteristics of both buyers and product have important influence on channel design. The first alternative is to market directly to buyer via internet, mail order, various types of door-to-door selling, or manufacturer own retail outlet. The other options utilize retailer and a various combination of sales force, agent, broker, and wholesaler, the number of individual buyer and geographic distributions, income, shopping habit, and reaction to different selling methods frequently vary from one country to country and may require different channels approaches. Product characteristics such as a degree of standardizations, traceability, bulk, service requirements, and unit price have an impact as well. Generally speaking, channels tend to be longer or require more intermediaries as the number of customers to be served increase and the price per unit decrease. Bulky products usually require channel arrangements that minimize the shipping distance and the number of time product change and the number of time productions hence before they reach the ultimate customer. Peer-to-peer marketing. The internet and other related media are dramatically altering distributions. Interactive TV may become a valuable direct marketing channels in the future. eBay, Panera, P2P helped Disney and IBM set up auction sites for B2C auctions. Interactive TV is becoming when homes are wired for two-way. Now, eBay is assisting large companies such as Disney and IBM in setting up online storefronts to sell items for fixed price in addition to conducting business to consumer B2C auctions. As we evolve from auction style bidding to adding buy it now last year, logical next step for us was to give seller a place to showcase their listing, said Bill Korb, eBay Senior Vice President for Global Marketing. Some observers predict that attractive televisions, or ITV, will also become a valuable direct distribution channel in coming years as more households are wired with necessary two-way technology. Time-pressed consumers in many countries are increasingly attracted to the time and place utility created by Internet and similar communications technologies. Door-to-door selling. In Japan, the biggest barrier facing U.S. auto manufacturers is not high tariff, rather than it's the fact that half of the cars that are sold each year are sold door-to-door. Toyota and its Japanese competitor main showrooms, but they also employ more than 100,000 car salespersons. Unlike their American counterparts, many Japanese car buyers never visit their dealership. In fact, the close long-term relationship between auto salespersons and the Japanese people can be thought as consumer versions of the Keiretsu system discussed in Chapter 9. Japanese car buyers expect numerous face-to-face meetings with a sales representative during which trust is established. The relationship continue after deal is closed. Say representatives send card and continuous seeks to ensure buyer satisfaction. In April 1998, the State Council imposed blanket ban all types of direct selling in China. Although the ban was aimed most directly at illegal pyramid schemes, Mary Kay, Tupperware, Avon, and Amway have been forced to adopt their business model. In the United States, for example, Mary Kay sales representatives are independent entrepreneurs who buy products from the company and then resell them. By contrast, to comply with the new government regulations, members of Mary Kay's Chinese sales force act as agents selling on behalf of the company. The ban was lifted in 2005 because it restricts competitions. The handful of reinforced direct sales marketers that maintain a presence in China had unique growth opportunity during the year the ban was in force. Mary Kay in a point. By 2011, Mary Kay Chinese sales was more than 50 times higher than they have been in 1999. Today, Mary Kay have a dozen of branches in China. Customer channels. Manufacturers own store. As noted in Chapter 9, Japanese customer electronic companies integrate store into their distribution group. Nike, Levi's trousers, well-known fashion design house and other companies with strong brands sometimes establish one or few flagship retail stores as a product showcase or as a means of obtaining marketing intelligence. Such channels supplements rather than replace distribution through retail store, independent franchise, or independent retailers like Walmart, flagship store, for example, Apple, Sony, well-known fashion house, Nike to build brand loyalty, showcase product, and other help gather marketing intelligence. Retailing in developing countries. The retail environments in developing countries present similar challenges for companies marketing non-perishable items. In affluent countries, Procter & Gamble or P&G, Kimberly, Unilever, Colgate-Palmolive, and other global consumer product companies are accustomed to catering a buyer in a bulk customer mentality. They cater customer mentality that prefer to buy something in a bulk. By contrast, in Mexico and other emerging markets, many consumers shop for food, soft drink, and other items several times each day at tiny, independent mom and pop, street kiosks, and market stalls. The product offer, including shampoo, disposal, diaper, and laundry detergents, are packed in a single-use quantity at relatively high per cost. Brazil middle class is growing rapidly, but changing customer influence rural area can be challenge for global marketers. Nestle China strategy include floating supermarket, Nestle at Vos or Bordeaux, or the same meaning to Nestle take you on board. This a boat that travel the Amazon by night and comes shoppers in 18 different multiple cities by day. Consumers who don't have access to hypermarket can stock up on dog food, chocolates, powder mix, and nearby 300 Nestle products and brands. At P&G, these operations are known as high-frequency store. In Mexico alone, an estimated 70% of the population shop at such stores. To motivate shoppers, keepers to stock more of the P&G's product, the company launched a Golden Store programs. In exchange for the plight to carry at least 40 different P&G products, participating stores receive regular visits from P&G representatives who tiny display area and arrange promotional material in a prominent place. Although P&G initially used its own sales force, it has since begun reliant on independent agents who buy inventory, paying in advance, and then resell the items to shop operations. P&G experience illustrate the fact that the channel structure, as shown in the next figure, represents strategy alternative. Firms can should vary their strategy as the market conditions change. This figure summarizes marketing channel alternative for industrial or product or business product company. As is true with the customer channels, product and a customer characteristic have an impact on channel structure. Three basic elements are involved: the manufacturer's sales force, distributors or agents, and wholesalers. A manufacturer can reach customers with its own sales force, a sales force that calls on sellers who sell to consumers, or a combination of these two arrangements. A manufacturer can sell directly to wholesalers without using a sales force, and a wholesaler, in turn, can supply customers. Finally, a distributor or agent can call on wholesalers or customers for manufacturer. Establishing channel. A global company expanding across national boundaries must utilize existing distribution channels or build its own. Channel obstacles are often encountered when a company enters a competitive market where brands and supply relationships are already established. Direct involvement in a distributions in a new market can entail considerable expense. Sales representatives and sales management must be hired and trained. These sales organizations will inevitably be heavily lost in its early stage of the operations in a new market because it will not have sufficient volume to cover its overhead costs. Therefore, any companies contemplating establishing its own sales force should be prepared to underwrite losses for this sales force for a reasonable period of time, or else sellers can use indirect involvement. The company utilizes independent agents, distributors, and other wholesalers. Channel strategy must be fit with the company competitive positions and the marketing objective within each national market. Working with channel intermediaries. Channel decisions are important because of number and nature of the relationship that must be managed. Channel decisions typically involve long-term legal commitments and obligations to various intermediaries. Such as commitments are often extremely expensive to terminate or change, so it is imperative for companies to document the nature of the relationship with the foreign partner. As saying goes, the shorter pencil is the better than longest memory. At a minimum, the written agreement should include definition of what constitutes a good cause for terminations. Harvard Professor David Ronald offers 7 specific guidelines to help prevent such problems from arising. These are highlighted above on the next slide. So we want to know the meaning of intermediaries. Intermediaries, also known as distribution intermediaries, marketing intermediaries, or middlemen, and an extremely crucial or important element of the company's product distribution channels. Without intermediaries, it will be close to impossible for business to function at all. This is because intermediaries are external groups, individuals, or business that make it impossible for companies to deliver their products to the end user. For example, merchants are intermediaries that buy and resell products. Okay, first step here, select your distributor. Don't let them select you. A company must link up with distributor by default after being approached by representative at the trade fair. In fact, such eager candidates may already be serving a company's competitor. Their objective may be to maintain control over the product category in a given market. To a proactive market entrance can identify potential distributor by requesting a list from the U.S. Department of Commerce or its equivalent in other countries. The local chamber of commerce or trade associations in a country can provide similar information. Second step, look for distributors capable of developing markets rather than those with a few good customer contacts. At this step, a distributor with a good contacts may appear to be the obvious choice in terms of generating quick sales and revenue. However, a better choice is often partner willing to both make the investment necessary to achieve success and draw upon the marketing experience of the global company. Such a partner may in fact have no prior experience with a particular product category. In this case, the distributor may devote more effort and assign new partner in higher priority simply because taking in a product line does not represent the status quo. Step number 3 for working with the channel intermediaries is trade local distributor as long-term partners, not temporary market entry vehicle. A contractual agreement that provides strong financial incentive for consumer acquisitions, new product sales, or other forms of business development is a signal to the distributor that the market entrance is taking a long-term perspective. Such development can take place when input of the managers from the global company. Working with channel intermediaries continue for step number 4. Step number 4 is support market entry by committing money, managers, and proven marketing ideas. In addition to providing sales personnel and technical support, management should consider demonstrating its commitments early on by investing in minority equity stake in independent distributor. Of course, the risk associated with investment should not be greater than the risk associated with independent distribution system in the manufacturer's home country. The earlier such as commitments is made, the better relationship is likely to develop. Step number 5, from the start, maintain control over marketing strategy. At this stage, sellers need to exploit the full potential of the global marketing channels. The manufacturer should provide solid leadership for marketing in terms of which product the distributor should sell and how those products should be positioned. Again, it's necessary to have employees on site or to have country or regional managers monitor the distributor's performance. As one manager notes, we used to give far too much autonomy to distributors, thinking that they knew their market, but our preposition is top one of the execute, and time and again we saw the distributor cut price to compensate for failing to target the right customer or to sufficiently train salespersons. This is not to say that the intermediary should not be allowed to adapt the distribution strategy to suit local conditions. The point for the manufacturer to take to the step number 6 is to make sure the distributor provide you with detailed market and financial performance data. Okay, distributor organizations are often company best source. It may be the only source of the market informations. The contract between a manufacturer and distributor should include specific language to the effect that local market information and the financial data will be transferred back to the manufacturer. One sign that a successful manufacturer-distributor distributor relationship can be established is the latter's willingness to provide such information. Okay, step number 7. Build link among national distributor at earliest opportunity. A manufacturer should attempt to establish link between its network of the national distributors. This can be accomplished by setting up of the regional corporate office or by establishing a distributor council. At any point in time, a company may have some excellent agents and distributors or other that are satisfactory, and a third group that unsatisfactory. By creating opportunities for distributors to communicate ideas for the new product design based on individual market, result can be leveraged and overall distributor performance can be improved. We continue on intermediaries. When you deal with intermediaries, you must be realistic about the intermediary's motive, may maximize its profit rather than manufacturer. Intermediaries may engage in cherry picking when they are only taking product with known demands. So these agents sometimes, even intermediaries, sometimes engage in cherry picking, the practice of accepting orders only from manufacturers with established demand for a certain product and brand. Cherry picking can also take form of selecting only few choice items from the vendor's product line. The cherry picker is not interested in any developing market for a new product, which is a problem for expanding international company. As noted previously, a manufacturer should provide leadership and investment resource to build solid relation with a desired distributor. Conversely, a manufacturer with a new product or product with a limited market share may find it more desired to set up some arrangement for bypassing the cherry picking channel member. In some cases, a manufacturer must incur the cost of direct involvement by setting up its own distribution organizations to obtain a share of the market. When the company's sales finally reach critical mass, management may decide to shift from direct involvement to a more cost-effective, independent intermediaries. An alternative method of dealing with the cherry-picking problem does not require setting up expensive direct sales force. Rather, a company may decide to rely on distributor-owned sales force by subsidizing the cost of the sales representative the distributor have assigned to the company's product. This approach has the advantage of holding down costs by trying the manufacturer with the distributor's existing sales manager team and a physical distribution system. It is possible to place managed direct selling support and distribution support behind a product at the expense of the only one salesperson per selling area. The distributor's incentive for cooperating in this kind of arrangement is that he or she obtain a free sales representative for a new product that has the potential to be a profitable addition to his or her line. This cooperative arrangement is ideally suited to getting a new export structure product into distribution in a market. Alternatively, a company may decide to provide a special incentive to independent channel agents. Global retailing is any retailing activity that across national boundaries. Since in the mid-1970s, this has been growing interest among successful retailers in expanding globally. However, this is not a new phenomenon. Foreign countries, entrepreneurial merchants have ventured abroad both for obtain merchandise and idea and to establish retail operations. During 19th and early 20th centuries, British, French, Dutch, Belgians, Germans trading companies established retailing organizations in Africa and Asia. International trading and retail store operating were two of the economic pillars of the colonial system of that era. In 20th century, Dutch retail C&A expanded across Europe and woolworths across Atlantic. These United Kingdoms to the United States to the United Kingdom. Today's global retail scene is characterized by great variety. Okay, as you can see from this slide, have a variety global retailing. For example, here department store, specialty retailers, supermarket, convenience store, discount store, and warehouse club, hypermarkets, super center, category killers, and outlet store. This slide offers a survey of some different retailing that can take. Retail store can be divided into categories according to the amount of the square feet of floor space. Again, retail store can be divided into categories according to amount of the square feet of the floor space, the level of service offer, width and depth of the product offering, and other criteria. Okay class, this slide shows one of the example of global retail store. LP12 Mall of Berlin opened in 2014 with 270 stores as well as apartments. Global retailing, European retailers spread to colonies in the 19th early to 20th century. Global retailers serve an important distribution functions when Carrefour, Tesco, and Walmart set up shop in developing countries. They provide customers with access, more product and lower price than were available previously. As we know, through the tax, when the global companies expand abroad, they often encounter local competitors. The retail store is no exception. In India, India is the case in a point. Organized retail is referred to a modern, a branch chain store, terms that used to describe a modern, against a branded chain store currently comprise less than 5% of India's market. The store is expected to exhibit double-digit growth. In fact, that has attracted the giant of the global retailing. Table 1 shows top 5 global retailers for 2021. Walmart at the first place, Amazon shows what group, Aldi and Alibaba among top 5 of the global retail in 2021, with the reference country for March retail and sales in billions. Type of retailers. Department store have the product mix under one roof. Expansion outside of home market is usually limited to a few countries into view. According to Maurer Hilton's London Retail Analysis, it's quite difficult to transfer a department store brand abroad. You have to find a city with the right demographic for your offer. If you adapt your offer to locality, you delete your brands. Other than that, Malvin Thorpe, former CEO of Bloomberg, say that conceptually, department stores are global brands already because we live in a world with an enormous amount of travelers between cities and continents. Type of retailer. Special retailer have less variety than department store, offer merchandise that in higher level of service, for example, Body Shop, Victoria's Secret and Starbucks. Specialty stores do offer a great deal of merchandise that, for example, many styles, colors and sizes, high level of service from knowledgeable staff, and a value proposition that is both clear and appealing to customers. Laura Ashley, The Body Shop, Victoria's Secret, Gap and Starbucks, and the Disney Store are examples of global retail operators that have stores in many parts of the world. In some countries, local companies operate the store. In Japan, for example, the giant Aeon Group runs Laura Ashley and the Body Shop store and has a joint venture with the Sport Authority. Supermarket between 50,000 and 60,000 square feet. Grocers have not spread outside of the US. Market size is vast. UK Tesco is a global. UK-based Tesco is one of retailing group that is expanding globally, while home country sales still account for approximately 80% of overall sales. The company has operations in more than a dozen foreign countries. Company officially typically study a country market for several years before choosing an entry strategy. Tesco's initial entry into Japan came via the acquisition of the C2 Networks, a chain of shops in Tokyo. As international operations Ship Ship as international operations. Chef David Riol explained Tesco has succeeded globally because it does its home and pay attention to detail. Even so, in 2000s, Tesco effort to penetrate the US market failed. Type of retailers continue with convenience store. In terms of square footage, convenience store are the smallest organized retail store discussed here. Convenience store have high turnover convenience and impulse goods. In United States, for example, typical 7-Eleven occupy 3,000 square feet. Typically, convenience stores are located in high traffic locations and offer extended service hours to accommodate commuters, students, and other high mobile customers. Price 15 to 20% higher than grocery store. 7-Eleven is the world's largest, about 64,000 locations. 7-Eleven is the world's largest convenience store chain. It has a total of 64,000 locations, including franchisees, licensees. The company operates itself. In trend, in convenience store, retailing is towards small store placed inside mall, airports, office building, and in college and university buildings. Discount retails. In this slide, we have 4 types of discount retail. Full-line discounters typically offer a wide range of merchandise, including non-food items and imperishable food in a limited service format. Walmart is the ranking king of the full-line discounter. Many stores cover 120 square feet or more of the floor space. Food accounts for about a third of floor space and sales. Walmart stores typically offer folksy atmosphere and a value price brand. Walmart is also leader in the warehouse club. Walmart is also leader in the warehouse club segment of discount retailing. Shoppers join the club to take advantage of low price in limited range of products, typically 3,000 to 5,000 different items, many of which are displayed in their shipping cartons in no-frills atmosphere. Dollar store sell a salad atmosphere. Dollar store sell a salad assortment of product at a single low price. In the United States, Family Dollar store and a Dollar Tree store dominate the industry. However, in recent industry entrance, many dollar store is experiencing rapid international growth. My Dollar Store Incorporation has franchises in Eastern Europe, Central America, and Asia. To succeed in the global market, many dollar stores has adapted its US business model. For example, typical US dollar store has a bargain basement image. By contrast, in India, my dollar store target affluent, middle class shoppers who are attracted by the lure of the low price and a brand associated with the good life. In America, good goods are priced at 99 rupees, the equivalent of $2, and a store are decorated in a red and a white and a blue with the Statue of Liberty on display. In the United States, a dollar store operates on a self-service basis with a lean staff. Many dollar stores in Indian locations have significantly higher staffing level. The better to answer questions about new or unfamiliar products. Hard discounter. Hard discounter include retail such as Germany, Aldi, and Lidl, where the quality is cheaper. And a France leader price, Le Prix La Qualite and Plus. These discounters offer limited assortment of the goods, typically 1,000 to 3,000 different items at a rock bottom price. Starting in 1976, Aldi began opening a new store each year in United States, while Aldi also owns Trade Joe's neighborhood grocery chain. Type of retailers continue on hypermarket. Hypermarket refers to a hybrid retailers combining the discounters, supermarkets, and warehouse club. It's about 20,000 to 30,000 square feet. For example, hypermarket in Malaysia, it can be listed as Aeon, Giant Hypermarket, Lulu Hypermarket, Maiden Wholesale Hypermarket. Supercenter have a lower price grocery plus general merchandise, half the price of the hypermarket. Walmart operates 3,275 stores plus 100 in Mexico, Argentina, and Brazil. Example of hypermarket in China here: Metro, Carrefour, Trustmart, Lotte-Mart. Supercenter offer a wide range of aggressive price grocery items plus general merchandise in a space that occupies about half of the size of the hypermarket. Supercenter are an important aspect of the Walmart growth strategy, both at the home and abroad. Walmart opened its first supercenter in 1988. Today, it operates more than 3,275 supercenters in United States, plus 100 stores in Mexico and Argentina. And in Brazil, some prices at Walmart supercenter in Brazil are much as 50% lower than competitor price, and some observers wonder if the company had taken the discount approach too far. Company officially insists talk that profit margins are in 20 to 25% range. Superstore, known as category killer of big box retails, is the label many in the retailing industry use when talking about stores such as Home Depot and IKEA. Okay, you can see this picture. The name refers to the fact that such stores specialize in selling vast assortment of a product of the specific product categories for home improvements, supplier of furniture, for example, in a high volume or at low price. In short, this store represents retailing 900-pound gorillas, which put pressure on a smaller, more traditional competitor, and from department store to scale down merchandise section they are in direct competitor with the bigger selections found at the superstore. Type of retail continue on shopping mall. Shopping mall consists of group of store in one place, enclosed or outdoor. Leisure destinations offer entertainment and convenience. Trend outdoor lifestyle center with food court and entertainment. Outlet store. Outlet store shop that offer access inventory, out of date merchandise or factory second. Popular in US, then it's expanding into Europe and Asia. Outlet store are variation of traditional shopping mall. They consist of retail operations that allow companies with well-known customer brand to dispose of the excess inventory, out-of-date merchandise or factory second. To attract large number of shoppers, outlet stores are often grouped together in outlet mall. The United States is home to hundreds of outlet malls, such as the giant Woodbury Common Mall in Central Valley, New York. Now, concept is catching on in Europe and Asia as well. The acceptance of this type of venue reflects changing attitude among customer and retail alike. In both Asia and Europe, brand-conscious customers are eager to save money. Global retailing trends, environmental factors that cause retailers to look outside the home country. Saturation in the home country market, recession or other economic factors. Strict regulations on store developments, high operation costs, and the most critical questions related to global retailing trends. That is, what advantage do we have relative to the local competitions? This slide shows figure global retailing categories. Global retailing categories divided into 4 categories. IKEA in quadrant A or category A is a good example of the global retailer with a niche focus. Example your sell furniture from home as well as own label focus. IKEA sell its own brand. IKEA and other retail in quadrant A typically use extensive advertising and product innovations to build a strong brand image. In quadrant B or category B, the private label focus is retained, but many more product categories are offered. This is the strategy of the Marks and Spencer or M&S, the British-based department store company whose St. Michael private label is found on a broad range of clothing, food, home furnishing, jewelry, and other items. Private label retailers that attempt to expand internationally face a double-edged challenge. They must attract customers to both the store and the brand's merchandise. Retailers in quadrant C or category C offer many well-known brands in relatively tightly defined merchandise range. Here, for example, we find Toys R Us with specialization in toys and include branded products from Mattel, Nintendo, and other marketers. Additional examples include such category killer as a Blockbuster Video and a Virgin Megastore. As noted earlier, this type of store tend to quickly dominate small established retailers by out-merchandising local competitions and offering customers superior value by virtue of extensive inventory and low price. Typically, Low price are a result of buyer power and sourcing advantages that local retailers lack. Carrefour promotes Walmart and other retail in Quadrant D or Category D offer the same type of merchandise available from established local retailer. What the newcomer bring to a market, however, is competence in distributions or some other value chain elements. To date, Walmart International Division has established more than 6,360 stores outside the United States. It is already the biggest retailer in Mexico and Canada. Other store locations include Central America, South America, China, and recently Germany. Global Retailing Market Entry Strategy Framework divided into four. Organic growth. Organic growth occurs when companies use its own resource to open store on a greenfield site or to acquire one or more existing retail facility from one another company. Franchise. Franchising shown in quadrant C of figure 12.4 is appropriate entry strategy when barriers to entry are low yet the market is culturally distant in terms of customer behavior or retailing structure. Acquisitions. Acquisition is a market entry strategy that entails purchasing a company with multiple retail locations in foreign country. Acquisition strategy can provide the buyer with a quick growth as well as accessing to existing brand supplier, distributor, and customer. Last, joint venture. Joint venture and licensing were detailed explained in Chapter 9. Global entail frequently use this strategy to limit their risk when targeting unfamiliar, difficult to enter market. For example, Benny's New York licensed its name by Benny's Japan for a period of 10 years. Global retailing trend strategy for organic growth. Company use its own resource to open a store on a greenfield site or acquire one or more existing retail facility. Franchise, that is appropriate strategy when barriers to entry are low yet the market is currently distant in terms of customer behavior or retailing structures. Global retailing trend strategy continue on chain acquisitions, a market entry strategy that entails purchasing a company with a multiple existing outlets in a foreign country. And a joint venture. This strategy is advisable when cultural distant, difficult to enter market, are targeted. Supply chain definitions. Supply chains include all the firms that perform support activities by generating raw materials, converting them into components or finished product, and making them available to customers. Logistics, the management process that integrates the activities of all companies to ensure an efficient flow of goods through supply chains. Physical distribution, supply chains, and logistic management. Order processing include order entry in which the order is actually entered into a company's information system. order handling, which involve locating, assembly, and moving product into distributions and order delivery. Warehousing. Warehouses are used to store goods until they are sold. Distribution centers are designed to efficiently receive goods from suppliers and then fill orders from individual store or customer. Physical distribution, supply chains, and logistic management. Inventory management ensures that a company neither runs out of manufacturing components or finished goods nor incur the expense and the risk of carrying expensive sake of these items. Social media can play an important role by connecting social media followers with their brand. Transportations, mode or method or company should utilize when moving products through domestic and a global channel. The most common modes of transportation are retail, truck, air, and water. Figure 12.5 illustrates some of supply chain value chain, and logistics. This concept and activity at IKEA, the global furniture marketer. IKEA purchases wood and other raw material input from network of suppliers located in dozens of countries. These suppliers are upstream in their value chains and process which wood is transported to the factories is known as inbound logistics. IKEA's factories add value to the inputs by transforming them into furniture kits, then are shipped to the IKEA stores. These stores are downstream in IKEA value chains. The activity associated with the shipped furniture kits from the factory to store are known as outbound logistics. Physical distribution and logistics are means by which products are made available to customers when, where they want them. The most important distribution activities are order processing, warehousing, inventory management, and transportation. Transportations, Table 12.4 show comparison of major international transportation modes. Channel strategy, analyzing each shipping mode to determine which mode or combination of this mode will be both effective and efficient in a given situation. For example, rail provide an extremely cost-effective means for moving large quantities of merchandise long distance. In United States, carriers such as SCX and Burlington Northern Santa account for nearly half of all cargo moved when measured by ton miles. Rail's capability is second only to water in terms of variety of a product that can be transported. However, trains are less reliable than trucks. Poor truck maintenance lead to derailment. Okay, that's all for this chapter. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.